Hey everybody. So I'm gonna give you a little bit of knowledge on how to create a KCBS garnish turning box with kale. Um, so first I go to my local grocery store and I go and I pick up 4 or 5 heads of kale. Um, I'm looking for. I don't like a lot of yellow. Like, it's not bad down here by all the roots, but up here I want it to be nice and crisp and curly. I don't want it, I don't want it all flat and nasty up here. So, like, here's a couple like bad spots. We'll just take this one out. I don't really care. I don't need that one anyways. But all right, let's get going. So it really doesn't take that much time to use kale. I know I've heard people say that kale will smell funny. Kale, like when you get it up to temperature, it'll when you put hot meat on it, it'll give you a funky smell. I think I've never been able to prove those facts. In fact, I did a test. I put 200-degree pork inside of a turn-in box one time, and every few minutes I took a instant thermometer and I checked the temperature and I put my nose in it and checked the smell, and even with 200-degree pork, I didn't get any weird smells. It didn't fade, it didn't wilt, nothing. This stuff is, if there's gonna be we're gonna get like a nuclear attack, you want kale, because this stuff will last forever. So basically what I'm doing is I'm taking the leaf and I'm just gonna bunch it. I'm gonna bunch it up like this. And you're just gonna take it and then you're gonna take your right hand and you're gonna put it over the top. And then this is where you determine if it's gonna be short or long. If I want it to be a tall box, I'll put my fingers way down here and I'll break it. If I wanted a short box, I put my fingers, up closer to the top and cut it there. And I like all mine to be pretty short, so that's what I do. So I pop it up there and then I'll shove it up here in the corner. And then just grab another piece. Same thing. Just go through, bunch it up. Don't worry too much about how it's laying in there. Don't get too worked up about how it looks at the present moment. There's a long ways to go. So again, just grab your leaf, your stem, whatever you want to call it. Just start bunching it out. Like I said, it doesn't take long to do this. You don't want to rush it. Your buddies outside having a cold one, relaxing, BSing. They're going to be there when you get done. So again, don't rush it. There's not a lot of points in appearance, but there's enough. And there's enough points in there that can make a big difference. So just keep going. There's a lot of people that think, garnish isn't a big deal and you shouldn't do it. And honestly, I prefer it over non-garnish at a competition because I like what. See, look how nasty that piece is. We're not gonna bother with that. We'll throw it in the trash. There's a lot of people that think garnish shouldn't be out there and shouldn't be part of competitions, and I mean, I don't really care. It's what separates KCBS from the others, so if they want to keep it or make it optional, it's not really optional, but if they want to keep it optional, whatever, I'll play the game. I like how it makes the food look. I think I like how it puts it up on a kind of like in a display. There's teams out there that they want their kale boxes, or they do lettuce, and they want them to look like a bowl, like the sides are really high and the meat kind of like sits in and then kind of like folds around. I'm not a big fan of that look, but there's a lot of teams that do really well doing it. There's teams that will take green leaf lettuce and they'll roll it up tight, and then they cut discs and set like 4 discs and then fill it in with parsley or kale. That's a really good technique. Personally, cooking by myself, I like to use kale. It's pretty easy. I can pick it up on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday of the week. Doesn't really matter. It's really hearty and can last a long time in the fridge. Just keep it damp. Sometimes if you get parsley, if you don't get it close to the day or two before you use it, it can be very fragile. If you get parsley I'm in my trailer, my competition trailer. If I get the refrigerator too cold by putting in a bunch of frozen meat or something, parsley will turn black and it'll start to wilt really bad and get really nasty. Where if I do that with kale, it doesn't really care. It doesn't really bother. Kale isn't. It's very sturdy. And there's a lot of people out there that love to eat it. I'm sure I've eaten it in salads. Would be honest, I wouldn't want it. If I knew I was eating it, I probably wouldn't want it. But so we're just filling it in. Keep grabbing these pieces and just bunch it all up. Rip it off. Set it in. This isn't the best kale, but it's not the worst. But just put it in, twist it off. Generally, a box takes, just paying attention and knocking them out, you could probably do all 4 boxes in 30 minutes with kale. That's not a lot of time to spend at a Friday at a comp. I don't do boxes Saturday morning, cooking by myself. Pretty much all the time I got stuff to do Saturday morning at a contest, so I do them on Friday, typically after lunch like it is now. So then just glad I bought 5 because this kale is not the best looking. Not the best looking at all. I mean, it's not bad, but so you just keep filling it in, filling it in. I'll probably go through all 5 trying to make 4 boxes. And the one thing is why I buy 5 is I hope at max I'll use 4 heads to do 4 boxes, and then I'll have a spare head of kale for turn-in time. Because turn-in time I like to have extra to fill in, like if something gets jostled around while it's in the fridge, or you put the meat on it and the meat just isn't sitting right. Again, appearance is not high in score rating, but there's points there. So take a couple minutes and get those extra points, because a point or two can cost you pretty much a whole contest. And I've seen fractions of a point can take you out of several $1,000s for a really sweet trophy because you left a couple appearance points on the table. Cooking up north, it's even more important. You can get 9s in appearance up north. It's even harder. So if you leave those scores out, if you don't take the time to make it look right, you're throwing it away, throwing trophies away. And that's why I like to cook, is to get those trophies. So I'm just going to continue filling in. We're almost done. So, man, this is a rough head of kale I picked to do this video. Rough. I should have went through and grabbed a really nice one. So but this is actually true life when it comes to kale, because sometimes it's good. And so then you just go through and you're just looking, you're just going to push it down. And you're just going to look around the edges, making sure like it's sunk in so you can pick it up and kind of tilt it up. Tilt it up so it's sitting really nice. You don't want any, kind of want a smooth platform. So you don't want any hills, because if you got hills, let's say your brisket slice is laying this way and you got a big old mound, your slice is either going to be up or you got a sink and your slice is going to be down. So it's going to look really funky, and it could cost you a 7 or an 8 in appearance instead of that 9, which can actually win the contest for you. So you got to be careful. Take the extra minute and do this right. Typically your meat's going to be in the middle, so you don't have to worry if there's like funky looking pieces in the middle. You might, if you don't like the way it looks on the edge, then you should do something about it. And again, I'm just going to fill in these little holes on the side. I'm going to push it down where it's high. I'm going to raise it up where it's low, just like that. Got another little low spot right here. I'm gonna put this right there to keep that up high. There, that'll raise whatever piece of meat, going right over the top. So then, that's pretty good. For now, I dig it. So, like, I'll put meat on it tomorrow, and hopefully it looks good. And if not, I'll take my other piece and I'll go around the meat just to make sure it all looks good, and I'll figure it out. But another thing is to keep this good, I'm gonna take some paper towel. I'm at the other roll, so this is why I got 2. Normally I just grab 2 pieces. I take my spritzer from the store and I got it filled with cold water. And if you have fridge, if you have a bunch of cooler space or you have fridge space, just wet it down nicely like this. And then fold it back so you don't want to break them tabs. If you have cooler space, you don't have enough space, you can leave it open like this and then just put the next one with the kale here, and you can just turn them and stack them, put them in your cooler. It doesn't take much time. But I have a refrigerator in my trailer, so I'm just going to take it and I'm going to fold it, I'm going to close it, and then into the fridge it goes.